Welcome to Pandaland. My favorite part about Pandaland is all the little tiny details that add up into little tiny stories that make one big giant story about love and community. I love Pandaland.
I originally created PandaLand as a way for kids to enjoy playing outside during the pandemic.
I love feel-good stories, and this is definitely one of them. It was such a fantastic watch, a really, really great short piece. It's heartwarming, and I love the way the film captures all of the fun and whimsy of Pandaland and how it brought everybody together. And it was really nice to watch the involvement of the kids too, and how Pandaland became a teaching moment. Like, hats off to her because she did a really good job of teaching them about things like democracy and the housing crisis in just an accessible and easy to understand way. Overall, I thought this was a really delightful documentary and I enjoyed watching it.
This really captured the spirit of what I love about Toronto and just roaming the streets, because you never quite know what community thing you might stumble upon, like Pandaland itself. Really playful filmmaking where we got to engage with Pandaland ourselves as the viewer. I loved watching the children interacting with it and the political engagement. It just kept on expanding, and I thought the filmmaking really added to the creativity inherent in the piece. Great quick pacing and inventive creative shots. I also thought that the children narration and singing in it was absolutely darling and really captured the innocence and the curiosity of childhood.
So I live in Toronto, and I'm very upset that I did not know about Pandaland before watching this video. This is so special. It's so magical. And it started off as just a cute, innocent little project, and it grew to be something so much more, and it brought the community together. I loved getting to see the kids' involvement, especially with the election. This is just doing all of the right things, and at the perfect time, during a pandemic when people are isolated and they're craving community. I feel like this was just such a wonderful collaboration of people. And I'm glad it exists. I'm sad that I only found out about it now, but how special. And I really enjoyed watching this. It just like filled my heart up with so much joy. Great job.
Pandaland was really cute. This one definitely reminds me of that story. I don't remember it fully off the top of my head, but it reminds me of that story of this, I guess you could call it like a robot, and the whole goal of the robot is that it wanted to see the world, and so literally they just left it there, and then people who knew the story or people who saw it, they would just take it with them and they would take pictures of it, and you just followed through these breadcrumbs, this robot's journey throughout the world. And it reminded me of that, where something that started off very small snowballed into this really huge collaborative event where everyone got together to do something really nice.
I thought this was really cute. I think that it's a good idea, especially when presented in the pandemic as a way to connect, as a way to discover some teaching moments, as well as a way to get people, kids especially, involved and working together and learning about some of these kind of bigger concepts that as you get older make more and more sense, and also you realize the importance of community and learning that your voice matters, and that learning the different kind of perspectives and how different people are living, not just what affects you directly. I think a lot of these are bigger concepts that Pandaland presented itself in a way that was fun and more manageable and kind of easier to teach with all these kids, which was really great, and one of those things that was kind of born out of partially necessity with the pandemic, but then just kind of evolved naturally itself. So I thought that highlighting that and what it did for a community and what it could help tackle and teach for these kids was really great. And that's type of learning that you can't necessarily get in a classroom, and it is really interactive and it's really hands-on, which is all really fantastic. So I thought it was great.
It is not a serious documentary. But it's good to see neighbors come together and kids enjoying themselves. And I thought for many people who grew up in small town Ontario, it would have a tremendous resonance with their memories. And even though it's set in Toronto, Toronto being a big city in some ways, but a collection of villages in another.
What a great idea. What a great idea for kids to come and play with this. And I loved the fact that it was expanded upon. People were coming in and they were making donations, and it was just building and growing. And where it went to from this to do like the panda elections and stuff like that, that was amazing. I think this was filmed in Toronto. So kudos to everybody in Toronto, because I gotta tell you, if this was built in my neighborhood, everything would have been stolen. It's just that simple. So I think that congratulations, Canada. You have very honest people, people who want to come together and see something grow and build, and that's great. The kids singing at the end, that really touched my heart. I thought that that was so incredibly sweet. Great job on this.
This is one precious effort on alleviating the negative impact the pandemic has had on children. I think they chose the best animal for this. Pandas are the best. They also showcase teaching opportunities on the interdependency of issues and raising awareness on the problems that affect the children and caring for others that don't necessarily feel affected directly. It is just a lovely initiative by this the retired teacher Martha Davis, and it was just lovely to see the children, their involvement in the election. It was just pretty, and I'm glad these things exist.